Here we are, it's 2024 and there are so many uncertainties baked into this year. There are wars, numerous elections, and everyone asking when are the interest rates going to come down. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Welcome to our first weekly market review of the year, and starting with one of the spillovers from last year is the prevalent relative high interest rates and when central banks will move to slash them, and of course by how much. It's interesting because considering the US Fed Fund futures, the market is pricing in a total of 166 basis point rate cuts for the year. That's 6 25 basis point cuts. It sounds a bit excessive, plus it contradicts the Fed's cautious stance. The central bank has been very clear that it will be patient to ensure inflation definitely turned a corner before it will make a move. And given the inflationary risks posed by the happenings in the Middle East and the Red Sea, their stance makes sense. 2024 also see more than 50 countries heading to the polls, which in and of itself creates some uncertainty. Taiwan already saw the re-election of its Democratic Progressive Party earlier this year, much to the ire of the Chinese government. Some of this year's most notable elections include Russia, the EU Parliament, India, as well as the US, which kind of kicked off on Monday with the Republican caucus in Iowa, where Trump enjoys overwhelming support as the Red Party's presidential candidate. South Africans will also head to the polls. When exactly is likely to be announced during the State of the Nation address happening on the 8th of Feb. Now, the ANC is facing a cliffhanger. The party will either hang on by its fingernails or it will miss its target net, which means South Africa will have a coalition government for the next 4 years. Whatever the outcome, we're in for a bumpy ride. As for the rand, without much domestic data out this week, the currency will likely take direction from developments abroad. That being said, a lot of the information has already been priced in, so investors will only change course on fresh information. In the meantime, the rise in the price of gold will be providing some support for the rand. As for data releases this week, retail sales for November will be out on Wednesday, and it's likely to reflect that Black Friday was a damn squib, while Thursday sees the release of November's mining production data with slower growth expected. Then internationally, the Eurozone, Germany and Great Britain will all be releasing inflation data this week, which will provide some guidance on interest rate cut speculations. China's Q4 GDP figures will be out on Wednesday. Now, China likely saw some strong growth towards the end of the year, but further stimulus measures are required to keep that momentum going. Also on Wednesday, US retail sales will be out, with the consensus expecting another monthly advance. American consumers have remained resilient amid the tight monetary conditions, but this is expected to change in the coming months as their excess savings are being depleted. Global elites are convening this week in Davos for the yearly World Economic Forum. The Ukraine peace formula, along with other geopolitical concerns, the development of AI, the climate crisis, they're all topics that will likely be in the spotlight this week. That's it, the week that was and the one to come for the markets.